Hey everybody, happy Monday, feliz lunes, feliz segunda-feira. All right, I'm going to try and keep this short because I've been trying to make my videos relatively shortish, work within a time period, and I'm going to do that today. All right, so today, trap bar deadlifts, Zercher Squats. We need to get to my accessories, need to get to them soon so I can get it done. Zercher, fine, did triples. 3 sets of 3 at 165. That was fine. I could have done more, but again, I'm letting some fatigue roll off still. Trap bar deadlift, 2-inch deficit, 300 5x5. Nice and easy. Felt like bar speed was increasing across the sets. That's what I want. Once I feel like things are kind of easy, then the small increment comes and you kind of rebuild from there. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So that section went really well. Really happy with that. It's Monday, right? After the Super Bowl. All I'm going to say is I watched some of the game. I did like the halftime show. I thought it was quite good. I was impressed. Really great creative use of the space. Right? Like I forgot that this was taking place in the middle of a football field. I mean, it was pretty wild. I was very impressed. So yeah. That's about all I have to say on that. I thought it was a good use of time. Last thing I want to talk about quickly, and I want to do it really quick. Comment on ChatGPT and strength programming. Saw something recently, right? Someone using ChatGPT to write a strength program, and I've seen other people do it, and I've done it myself just to test it. Like, hey, I want to get big and strong. What should I do? And I'm going to tell you, it's going to kick out stuff that's very typical of what's popular out there. And I mean, it's not the worst information ever. I mean, a lot of times it's like, if you're just starting, you should try something like, and it have like starting strength or strong lifts or Windler 531 or one of these things. It's kind of just, very, very much a boilerplate, really good beginning program. And then it's got some other stuff, and it might talk about DUP and some other jibber jabber, but at the end of the day, it's just racking and stacking its recommendations based on how that LLM, that large language model, has racked and stacked the stuff that it saw. I saw this thing happen this many times. It correlated with this. There's a bunch of statistics and linear algebra behind these things, and they just say, hey, I'm going to give you what I think is the most right answer. But is it the right answer for you? That we don't know. And like a lot of classifiers or statistic-based models, they're right a good bit of the time, but stuff out on the fringe is gonna miss. And sometimes when you got certain circumstances that are coming up, or you're just you, or whatever, right? Depending on what the model's trying to aim for, it's going to give you some probably not so great advice. And then you're kind of stuck like, well, how much do I need to give this thing? Like, I've got arthritis in my left thumb and my left toenail hurts and whatever, right? You're going to start giving it more and more information. And maybe it refines some stuff based on that. But let me tell you, at that point, you're just spinning your wheels. And if you got special requirements for your training or you want to ask questions, just go talk to somebody, have a dialogue. Don't have a dialogue with a computer because computer just doesn't know context all that well. It has a lot of information behind it and it will try to put that context together, but it doesn't work well, I don't think, in iteration, especially if you need to go back to the person a week later. Is ChatGPT going to remember you from a week ago? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know how persistent those kinds of things are, how it works in real iteration, how well it develops time series, and how well it understands all these intangibles that kind of surround something like strength training. Like, is it gonna, hey, did you eat your carbs earlier or later in the afternoon? Is it, maybe that's specific. I don't know, but anyhow, it's a tool. It can be useful, get you pointed in the right direction. But at the end of the day, what you need to do, if you're going to do if you're gonna fiddle around with programming, it's basically one of two options. Go talk to somebody who really knows what they're doing, or go get yourself figured out. Go read, and there's a bunch of videos to watch, like RTS has put stuff out. There's a bunch of other stuff out there, there's a bunch of things to read. You experiment on yourself. You figure out things, what works, what doesn't work, and get yourself together. That's how you're gonna learn. And that's about it. So ChatGPT just points you in a direction, just like Google 25 years ago just pointed us in a direction. And before that, it was a card catalog, just pointed us in a direction. All we're doing is just changing the speed of which we acquire knowledge, but the work is still upon us to go figure out what it is exactly that we need to do based on actual true expert advice. So the experts out there for something like programming, people program for a lot of people. And I mentioned like someone who knows how to peak, that's a hard thing to do. But the other expert is you can create one of yourself, about yourself, by just trying, learning, experimenting, the old scientific process. And that's a valid way to do things too. All right, so said enough for today. Today is Monday. I don't want you to have a happy Monday. I want you to have a great week ahead. Feliz lunes, feliz segunda-feira. Espero que você tenha ótimo semana. And don't forget, get into those gyms, hit those goals, get swole.